ready.
We're too ready for
Okay,
this.
we gotta dial it back.
Okay. I don't know if I can dial it back.
I'm so excited.
I've been very, very excited about this.
You know what this is.
I think they know what it is.
I think they know what it is.
I hope they know what it is.
If they don't know what it is, they haven't been listening.
If they don't know what it is, and this is your first episode, you're in for something special.
We got a Spookysode!
A Spookysode.
I love it.
Nice.
I love it, and I'm ready to my bones.
We've been buzzing today. There's just been an air of spooky excitement.
It is daytime.
It's very bright still.
Yeah, we did that on purpose.
We've only twice before recorded in the daytime.
Yeah, we are always nighttime recorders, like the real cool kids.
But not today, because we're fucking terrified.
We are babies.
I even shut the blinds behind me because I was really scared that I was going to get, like, sniped.
I'm going to see, like, a plastic face looking back at me. I know I am.
You're going to be in the middle of your story, and I'm going to look up at you, and you're going to have, like, red dots
Yeah,
all over you.
I'll be dead already. Just, like, the hole in my forehead.
Oh my god, that was terrifying. That's another spooky story. I look up, you're telling your story, but you're dead already, and I just hear you talking.
Oh, yeah, it's like Sixth Sense, kind of. Like, that's fun.
We're in the mood.
Yeah, we are really, really feeling this, you guys. Oh my goodness, I'm ready. It is such a wait. 10 episodes?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've been ready to do this since we did it last time.
And I'm really glad we decided to do it every 10.
Yeah.
You know?
And let's the excitement build.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because we're not generally a spooky paranormal.
No.
I mean, as paranormal.
I mean, we are as people, but this show is usually, as people, we're very much so.
We're walking ghouls.
Yeah. Ghouls.
We're very ghoulish.
But no, like, you're right. This is more of I think a lighthearted podcast, you know?
Well, I thought you were going to say our topics today were lighthearted.
No, they're not.
No,
they're
bitch.
the scariest. The scariest. So, what are you going to be talking about?
I am going to be talking about some black-eyed children.
They scare me shitless.
It's about to get worse.
I know.
There's some stuff here the theories behind this is what freaks me out the most.
Yeah.
The theories behind what they might actually be.
That's when you get down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the men in black. And the women in black.
Really?
Oh. They're fucking scary.
I didn't think they were welcome.
They're worse.
Really?
Yes, they're horrible.
I'm having it's such a weird moment to have pride.
This has caused me a lot of anxiety this week.
We've done a fair share of texting each other, just about how scared. Like, I'm about to sit down and do research. I'm scared, and we had a couple of spooky and
strange things
that aren't quite explainable. We didn't say it before, but I want to say it now. You know, get you some snacks.
Oh yeah, we have snacks.
Get you a comfy blanket.
Yeah.
Grab your witch's brew and let's
getting high.
Yeah, why not? Best time to do it is during a terrifying story time.
Yeah, great. That's perfect. But we're not just talking about them. We're gonna be. I want to share a story of mine, and I think you wanted to share one of yours.
Yeah, I have one to tell.
And then we have some listener stories, and I'm so excited.
These are mind-blowing. The fact that we're getting to read other true stories.
I'm so excited.
So yeah, we did have some spooky things happen to us during our research. Macy had more than I did. Macy had 2.
See, all right, if there's any other people out there who know about the weirder theories of the men in black, they know that oftentimes when talking about them or researching them, just bad things happen, for one, and 2, you have technology issues. It's a really big one. Like the Mysterious Universe guys have time and time again when they're discussing the men in black, like, parts of the interview will be lost, or like, I mean, it's famous at this point. And so it all started, and it was like Tuesday, and I was like, I'm gonna get this done early because it really unnerves me and I just want to knock it out. And so it was a Tuesday, and I stepped outside just for a minute. It was really, really pretty outside, and I saw that my screened-in porch has a vaulted ceiling to it. It's kind of tall, and there was a hummingbird up in the rafters.
Which is special to you.
Yeah, I really love them so much, and I've kind of gotten a few of them, and, I have a feeder, and, I make my own sugar because I know that the red dye is bad for them, and, I'm really trying to take care of these birds, and one's stuck in the rafters, and hummingbirds don't have a lot of time without eating when they're burning a lot of energy, and this one was in a panicked state, and so I got Hunter, and it's just can you help me try to maybe, get him outside somehow, maybe scare him around, and because I'm not tall enough to, get up there. And so he was getting really tired, and, at one point he, hit one of the upper rafters and just, laid there for a long time, and then he was so small, he got caught in some spider webs up there, and was just, suspended, frozen. And he was so tired, Hunter was able to kind of, get him out of the webs, but he just didn't fly. And he hit the ground, and so we picked him up, and I got some sugar water and, put it underneath him, and it was...
Sugar water.
Yeah. Oh, no. Gross.
More sugar water.
Oh, God, that's... Oh, gross. Okay, so... Anyway, that's about as grim as this story, honestly. And so, anyway, the poor thing, so Hunter scooped it up, and he put it on, off the ground, and it was just breathing really hard, and I don't know what happened to it. Its eyes started to, close, and I kind of just wanted to give it respect, and we went inside. So that was literally, I said out loud, I'm going to start researching the Men in Black, and I go outside, and that scene unfolds, and... it was really traumatic for me. I really love animals in general, but it's just such a delicate, just powerful creature, and I hate that.
And our consensus is that the bird did make it.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't finish that part. So I walked out the next morning, and the bird was gone.
Yeah.
So maybe, hopefully, he got better.
He probably got a rest.
But it was just a slap in the face traumatic event for me. And, it's just okay, maybe not tonight. I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. And so I didn't. And I didn't start researching until Thursday. Because I thought we were going to be recording on Friday. And so I got it all done. And I've been, deep in articles at this point. I mean, it'd been a couple hours. And, long search history of this stuff. And I was just reading an article, and for no reason... It was just the back button had been hit 80 times because the screen that appeared was from 3 weeks ago, and it was an Amazon cart that I bought, but it was the screen before I bought it. See, that's what's so weird. And I hit the forward arrow, to be I'll just go back. Maybe it's just, and it was the next step of the cart. But all of my history, everything was gone.
That really freaked me out when you were telling me about that.
It really spooked me. And so I felt like I needed... Sorry if that hummingbird story triggered anybody. I just felt like I needed to include it because in conjunction with the second one, it's just grim and spooky.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken because I don't know much, I've purposely stayed away from your topic because I'm really excited to hear you tell the tale. But if I'm not mistaken, don't weird things like that happen? The fact that it wasn't just any bird, it was a hummingbird. It was something that was special to you.
Yeah. It's they don't
personalized fear.
Yeah, they don't like being looked into. And I don't know, it just made it was like a threat. That's really what it read to me. I was just oh my God, and I don't know, it was just very spooky. And then the second time I tried to research them, everything disappeared.
That's so creepy. Because things I could see where you might accidentally hit a button and oops, you hit back, or something resets and it brings up an earlier, when you accidentally hit X out and you open it up and it brings up everything you had open. And it's oops, we closed all your tabs. Maybe it brought up an older save, but the fact that it was from so long
it was weird.
In the past is very disconcerting.
Yeah.
Macy Marco Polo'd. If you don't know Marco Polo, it's like a little video sharing app on
It's really great.
It's really great. Download Marco... Not sponsored.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, Marco Polo. We talk about you all the time. So she Marco'd me, and she said, hey, here's what's going down. And she told me some things that were happening. I looked behind me. I feel nervous talking about this part. But I looked behind me, and I saw that I have a Google Home. If anybody has like an Alexa or a Google Home, you'll know that when you're talking to it, or when it's listening for you to say something, the little light pings on. And she's in the middle of telling her story. I turn around and I look, and my Google Home hasn't made the noise. It hasn't made the ping, the noise that it's listening. I just turn around and the light is on.
It's just listening.
And it's just listening. I'm waiting to hear the rest of the story, and right before I can write her back with like a video showing her this light on, it clicks off. And that was my little freaky account.
Yeah, so just a weird week. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm ready to put this one to bed. And I don't have any notes I actually refused to write any of this down, so this is all off the cuff today.
And I got pretty spooked myself doing the research on mine, because once you know about the black eyed children, that's when they happen.
Yeah.
Like, those who know are the ones that it happens to. Kind of like a Slender Man-esque thing. You know, if you think about it, the more you think about it, you're gonna, like, summon them or something. Yeah. I don't really abide by that, because some of the accounts from people, they had never heard of them before. So, just a little creepy idea to play around with. The more you think about something scary, the more likely it is to happen.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to tell their own little story first?
Should we flip a coin? I didn't know the story until recently, actually.
Yeah.
Not the whole details of it.
Yeah, I don't share this one as often, because I know that it's a little kooky, but I don't care, because it's creepy as fuck. So, it's the most creepiest topic to me of the paranormal. It involves a haunted doll.
Annabelle.
And I hate dolls. I hate them so much because of this doll. I mean, it's an actual thing. I really hate them. I think they are horrible creations. I don't understand them. I think that they are absolutely terrifying.
When you get to thinking about it, it's weird. They're just little people replicas.
It's weird. It's weird. And, oh gosh. Okay, so you know what? I'm actually going to just tell the story. So I'm just not going to talk about how much I hate them.
She's stalling for time.
I am. And so anyway, when I was about 5 years old, I was given a beautiful, it was a porcelain doll. The main offender of all of the dolls. And, anyway, it was probably about 2.5 feet tall, maybe 2 feet tall. It had, like, blonde curly hair and a green velvet dress. And I really didn't take to it immediately. You know, I mean, I was already just kind of like, I don't know about it. I had a dream that night. I'll never forget it. I had a dream that night, and it was one of those dreams that's so, like, I mean, you know, because sometimes, like, you'll dream and you'll be in your house, but your house is, like, weird, you know, it's not. This is one where everything was exactly in its place. Everything was exactly correct.
It wasn't a dream.
It wasn't a dream. Anyway, and so I had this very, very realistic dream that she was talking to me exactly from where she was sitting, like, in real life, and, you know, and she told me that her name was Katrina, and I don't need to trust her.
She said, don't trust me?
Yeah. And that's how it started. And,
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, so that was where it was just like, oh, okay. And so all growing up, I would have, what is it, hypnagogia, when you're, like, in between waking and sleeping. I don't know, like right there, where you're kind of in that weird in-between state.
But you can't necessarily move or wake
yourself
up.
Yeah, it's real weird. She would, like, wink at me. Or, like, slightly move. And it's just, like, I would have these dreams, though, that I would look over and she would just, like, turn and like, wink. Or, like, subtle things.
Yeah. She's not jumping up and running at you.
Well, that came later.
Oh, shit.
So I used it later on, like, in my, like, high school years, a lot. And it sounds so silly because she is small, you know. I had these almost night terrors of her after me. And I mean, I'm covered in chills thinking about it. I mean, I don't have that bad of nightmares. I'm lucky, you know, in that way. But these were bad, and I'd be bothered by them. Well, because the thing is that it was pretty, you know, and while I wanted to, like, get rid of it by this point, you know, my mom was like, well, that's not very nice, you know, you can't just do that. So it was just, like, always kind of out.
Right.
You know, and I was having, I mean, nightmare after nightmare. I was, like, in my senior year in high school and was still having these nightmares of her, and she was just so persistent, you know, like, it was just horrible. It was when you wake up exhausted because all night you just fought for your fucking life. And, anyway.
I think we touched on this in our first spooky episode, but, Macy's room.
Yeah.
There's something about it.
It is the epicenter. It's where it, for some reason, it's not where it started, but it's where it ended up. Because my room scared me so much, I would actually sleep upstairs with my mom a lot. And I'm even in high school. Just because that room is weird. Mm-hmm. And
it's a portal. I've said it before.
It's not so bad now, but I also don't stay in it full time, you know. So I would sleep upstairs a lot, and eventually the doll was moved upstairs, like tucked in a corner, you know, just tucked away.
Ew, that makes it worse.
And
like facing the corner?
I don't know, like just in like just over somewhere. And the nightmares were up there then. They'd be up there. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's so realistic in the room you're in, and that's what's so weird.
Yeah.
And eventually, I think she's still around, but my mom, like, put her in a box, and, like, and I've not had one since.
That's really freaky. Being an adult now and thinking back of all the times we were kids, and just, like, all the creepy
shit. Do you remember her?
You know what? Something weird happened just now. You told me the story in its entirety, like, because I've heard bits and pieces. Yeah. You told me the story on the phone a week ago or something, and I couldn't remember. I could not remember. But when you sat there and described her just now as
with the green dress,
curly hair, and the green dress,
big blonde hair,
it flashed in my mind. I saw her, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course,
that one.
So that's
Katrina.
Head a little too small for her body.
It was the hair. Her hair was just huge. She had, like, big, like Kirsten Dunst in Interview with a Vampire hair.
Yeah.
That's what her hair looked like.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess that's my turn.
Yeah.
Shit. I love Halloween. I've always loved Halloween. It's my jam. I have the parties and stuff like that.
It is the best day of the
year. It's the best.
It's our Christmas.
Yeah, essentially. Yes. So, I was going to have a Halloween party. On a Friday night, I invited, my friends, close, small. It wasn't a rager. Yeah. It wasn't a high school kegger.
It was an intimate party.
It was, yeah. Like, my parents were going to be home, and we were just going to, like, hang out on the back patio, and it'd be decorated and have snacks, and we'd giggle, I had mentioned, because I get real excited, and I forget not everybody loves this. And Macy, you're just not gonna like this. I had mentioned, I was like, yeah, we can watch, like, a spooky movie, we can play those stupid sound CDs, and
those are unnerving.
I was like, I have a Ouija board, again.
What the fuck?
I know, man. Being a stupid kid, not knowing what I was doing or how to use a tool. But you're a kid. You're like, ooh, what's Halloween? Ouija.
But this time you're an adult, right?
13, 14.
Oh, okay.
13, 14.
I was, like, picturing you throwing this party in your now house.
No. No, definitely not. If I want to eat, because again, I am an advocate for spirit boards, However, don't use that shit as a party tool. Don't play with it. Is my
or
point.
At all.
Or if you're Macy, at all. And I get that. But no, I was just old enough. I was young enough to play with this kind of shit still, not understand. And I was old enough to think I was edgy and cool. So I was going to have a Ouija board. And I had told my friends about it. And one of the girls I had invited, my friend at the time, freaked. She just flipped. She just lost it. And
I understand.
Well, I mean, and not even for the right reasons.
Oh, okay. Was it the devil?
It was the devil. This was actually a weird time in my life, and this was the instance that not only did she not go, but she advised all my friends to not go, and I had a weird point in my life where me and another girl who had stuck up for me, we were getting devil worshiper yelled at us in the hallway.
I got that.
So that was a fun time. So day rolls around, my friends show up, we're having a good time, and we decide to go back to my bedroom, and we're all going to be back there, and we've got this Ouija board. Earlier on in the day, my friend that had rode home with me was there early, and we're killing time, and I'm sure my mom is putting all this shit together.
Yes.
And I'm just being a stupid asshole kid. We're out outside of city limits, so we live not in the country, but we had like a good acre on this little, ranch-style house we lived in, and we're out playing with some walkie-talkies.
Oh, this story.
Yo, you know this one. Okay. We're playing with some walkie-talkies out in my front yard that were close enough to an interstate that if you were lucky, you'd get a CB radio every once in a while from a truck, And we would be, probably candy cane level of situation. Just, hey boys! Just not cool. That got boring. And I guess we had thrown the walkie-talkie in my bedroom, right? Now, if you know a shit about walkie-talkies, they've got a battery life of about 2 seconds before you have to replace them. So just keep that in mind. And we hadn't heard a peep out of it. All day. No noises, no beeps, anything. So just keep that in the back of your skull. We decide to grab the Ouija board, and we go back to my bedroom, and we're being stupid kids, as stupid kids do. And I think most of it wasn't even playing with the board. We were just kind of sitting around it talking, and oh boy, one of my parents decided it would be a funny idea to go outside to my window and scratch on it.
Such a parent move.
And I think we kind of, oh boy, but we figured it out, it was, we kind of giggled, and my parents had their fun, and so we get to play with the board. Everybody puts their hands on the little planchette and gets very quiet and serious, and I go, okay, because it's my party, I get to speak, and I'm like, okay. Is there anybody here with us? Walkie-talkie comes to life. And this woman's voice, ethereal sounding voice, comes on the other end, and she sounds confused. She goes, hello? And we jumped up and freaked out.
Shit your pants.
We shit our pants immediately, and we ran out into the living room. And in that moment, when you can think a million things in a second, why does she sound confused?
Yeah.
You don't get on a walkie-talkie and, you might go, hello? Hello? Is anyone there?
Yeah.
But, it was like a lost spirit kind of confusion. And, hello? And then my next thought was, my fucking mom. I was like, somehow, they have the other walkie-talkie. Somehow they did that. We jump up, we run in the room, and I remember my mom, both of my parents, wide-eyed on the couch, looking at us, because just a gaggle of teenagers have shot screaming out of my bedroom. And to this day, when I talk about this with my mom, she is, and there is no lie in her eyes when she says they didn't do dick. And if you want to be super logical, it was a walkie-talkie. It could have been picked up by somebody else. Yeah. Maybe they had a walkie-talkie and they were just saying hello, but the way that it sounded, it was not, it was a sad confusion.
That's sad. There was something in that house.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah.
I would hear, I would sleep in the living room, and I would hear people in that office. I would hear people just, and not creepy things, just someone was in there working.
Well, I know on a couple of occasions, my dad would work real late into the night, and I'd go to bed, and these rooms were across the hallway from each other. So you'd wake up, and I'd see the light coming under my door. And I'd be like, oh, Dad's up. And that always, I'm to this day scared of the dark. Yeah. I don't like being in the dark.
But it's always comforting to know if someone's still
or you can hear people doing stuff. So when I would see his light streaming under the door, I felt very safe to get up and go to the restroom.
Yeah. Oh, so, I get you.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I know I can go pee and not get gobbled up. So, twice, I think it was, I saw the light and heard distinctively
like typing
the office chair
Oh,
rolling
yeah.
across those little plastic things you put on
yeah,
carpet.
yeah.
Rolling across that and like moving, like the sound of a body pushing the chair. And I was, oh, okay. Flung the door open to go to the bathroom. It's just nothing.
I hate that.
All the other lights in the house are off. The chair is sitting there in the middle of the fucking room.
Yeah.
So at least twice that happened. There was something there.
Yeah.
But not bad. It was it was a little office worker.
Yeah, I wasn't malevolent, but
it was doing her taxes.
It was something.
It was something. Yeah.
Are you ready to get to the meat of this scary sandwich?
I'm ready to get down to the dick meat of this story.
Oh. What?
It sounded better in my head.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay. Are you gonna regale me with spooky tales of the black-eyed... I say black-eyed kids, like BEKs.
BEKs.
Do you say children?
I call them the black-eyed children. Because the word children is very scary to me.
Yeah, it's like children of the corn.
In general. And I'm sorry if you guys hear my notes shuffling around, but I gotta keep my head straight.
What are you doing?
What? Okay, so I'm going to tell you about the black-eyed children, or the black-eyed kids. That works too. You may have heard this story. This has been we'll call it an urban legend.
Okay. I like a good urban legend.
I like to call them known entities. But, whatever. You pick your poison. This has been around for quite some time. However, and honestly, some of the theories suggest that this goes back way longer than a lot of people might realize. The beginning of the internet, back in 1998, there was a journalist by the name of Brian Bethel, who posted his account. This is the first one that people like to refer to.
Okay.
This is Brian Bethel's account. Now, when I read this, I want you to keep in mind that this man was a journalist. By all accounts, he was not a fiction writer.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. He starts off. He says, my internet service provider used to have offices in a shopping center. If you're old enough, you'll remember back in the day, you could go drop off checks at locations, instead of paying them online. All right, so he's in a shopping center, and it's about 9:30 at nighttime, as most of these stories happen at night. He's looking down, he's completely preoccupied with his check writing, and he hears a knock. So he looks up, and he's already startled. Like he said, there's a difference between his feeling of being startled by the noise and as soon as he sees these children, he's just...
That primal fear.
He's overwhelmed by this feeling of fear. But I want to say that this also happened in Abilene, Texas.
Oh, great.
Which is bringing it a little closer to home for us.
Yeah, I think that's about 3 hours from here. 2.5 hours from here. I might be very wrong. It might be 14. Texas is huge.
Yeah, with Texas, it's going to be down the street, or you're going to be road tripping all day. So when he looks up and he sees these children, he's startled by the noise. However, he says that he was confused, but he felt an overwhelming sense of fear and unearthliness rush over him. He describes these kids as being 10 to 14.
Those are the ages usually I hear about, are like 12, 13, kind of like tweens.
Like a tween.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do hear the stories of really young children, like 4, 6, but they're usually there in that kind of...
Yeah, like pubescent, prepubescent, like sometimes 17.
Mm-hmm. And another thing is that sometimes they're really hard to peg on their age. You just kind of know they're there in that range. Yeah. There's a little bit of a agelessness to them in a way. He notices that they are dressed in very kind of bland, toned down clothing. They said they were there to see the Mortal Kombat movie, which, if you remember, anyway.
The biggest deal.
And I figure, some 2 kids who are going to go see a Mortal Kombat movie at 9:30 at night.
They're going to have some gear on.
They might have some gear on. That's my own personal opinion on it, though. He also noted the strange olive tone to their skin.
Yeah.
Now, when I say olive tone, I don't mean it in the way that a lot of people say, oh, you have olive tone skin, which is generally just like this beautiful kind of radiant, you know. I mean green-gray.
Corpsey.
And they're looking at the ground. One of the boys, and the only boy to talk during this entire event, he's been come to known as the spokesman.
Okay.
Which is spooky to me. Just people
like
call
that.
him the spokesman. All right, so the spokesman is the one who knocked on the door, and before Brian knew it, he had opened his window a crack on the door.
Don't do that.
And it was almost an unconscious kind of quick movement.
They have allegedly that control, that ability.
He knew something was wrong, but he knew too late.
Yeah.
You know, so that was the feeling he was having. So the spokesman smiled at him. He could see kind of like a smile on his face, even though his face is kind of downturned, you know, just kind of, he could tell he was smiling, and it really unnerved him.
Yeah,
it was a smile that he says an adult man would have.
Ew.
Not like a child, like, hey, mister, you know, but it was like a smile a grown man would have. And he could feel his fight or flight kind of kicking in.
Oh, my God.
He knew something instinctually was not right. But he rolled his window down a little bit, and he's like, can I help you? The kid says, hey, we have a problem. We need some help from you. And his voice was very quiet and very calm, again, like a grown person. Not like you would expect a kid, Mister, hey, can we have some money for the movie? Or whatever kids say, I don't know. He says, you see, which is strange for a kid to start a sentence with. Well, you see, he said, my friend and I want to go see the films. Keep that in mind. He said, we want to go see the films, but we forgot our money. We need to go to our house and get it. Can you help us out?
Yeah. They never know how to, like, talk in a modern way.
Mm-hmm. The one that, I mean, ice water just shot through my veins when I read it. It was so scary to me. This woman opened her door, kid standing there, asked if they could come in and use her telegraph. And that's so wrong.
Yeah.
That it just chills me. To my gut, it chills me. There's a lot of accounts where they say something that is not quite appropriate.
Yeah.
He says everything about this kid is not your typical kid's behavior. The kid's not like, you know, kids will sometimes like rock in their place and kind of fidget, and they almost act, he points out here that children are usually, when addressing an adult, they're usually apologetic.
Yeah,
almost.
meek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. Well, you see.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
My friend and I want to see the films.
Yeah.
So when he didn't immediately agree, yes, come get in my car, he said that the spokesman seemed a little bit perturbed.
Got mad.
A little flicker of something happening. And the kid next to him, the one that didn't speak, turned his head and looked up at the older one.
Gross.
And kind of gave him a look like, why isn't he doing
Oh, that's making my eyes water.
So the spokesman again kind of, I guess, cleared. He says, smooth as silk. He said, come on, mister. We just want to go to our house. We're just two little boys.
Oh, fuck it.
When was the last time you heard a kid
my eyes
point out the
so
fact that
bad.
they were just a little kid?
Oh, I don't like that at all.
So he says, my mind was frantically trying to process what I was perceiving about these two figures. He said, my brain knew that something was wrong. But it's not able to piece it together. So again, he says at this point he notices that his fingernails are digging into his steering wheel. So he subconsciously, he's just tightening his hand. Yeah, his fight or flight is kicking in.
Get the fuck out. Throw that thing and drive, man.
He says all that he was able to say was, what movie are you going to see? Which again is not a response you would probably have. There's something happening to his state.
Keeping the conversation going.
The spokesman says, Mortal Kombat, of course. He had looked and he saw that Mortal Kombat, the last showing of it, started at around 8. It's 9:30 at this point, and it's the last showing. Like, things are shutting down. So here's this kid saying, we're going to go see the films.
Right now, we need money.
That's over. He says at this point, the silent one, the smaller boy, is starting to look increasingly, like, nervous. He's kind of looking around and being shifty. Spokesman speaks up again. He says, come on, let us in. We can't get into your car until you do, you know?
Yeah.
Let us in. And then at that point, they lock eyes.
Oh, Jesus.
He says, to my horror, I realized my hand had strayed toward the door lock.
Oh, my God.
and I was in the process of opening it. I pulled it away, probably a bit too violently, but I did it with I had to do it with force to get me to look away from the children. That's the first time I noticed their eyes. They were coal black, no pupil, no iris, just two staring orbs reflecting the red and white of the marquee.
Oh my God. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like the reflection in there. That's I just picture him being like a little, like 10% too big.
Yeah.
You know, like
a little too big and almost void.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like that Vanta black, you know.
Vanta black
like
with like a reflection
like
that's
a
coming
gloss.
from nothing.
Yeah. Gross.
So he says at this point he knew that his actions and his face had betrayed him.
Yeah.
You know, he knew that these kids knew.
That he knows.
That he knows.
We don't know.
We know that they know.
That we know.
He said that the spokesman's face, he wore a mask of anger.
Yeah.
Which says a lot. He said, "Come on, mister, we're not going to hurt you. You have to let us in. We don't have a gun."
It's like smooth.
Which I thought was kind of funny. I giggled at until he says, "We don't need a gun."
Oh, jeez.
So he says, like, I ripped the car into reverse, and he's like, he shot out of there. As he's peeling away, he looks into his rearview mirror, and they are gone. And there's nobody
I would just
there.
know they were in my backseat.
Exactly.
I would just know. I wouldn't even look. I would just pull over and be like, all right, you got me.
But they can't get in the car unless you sell them.
Yeah, that's true.
So he says he drives home. The whole time he's scanning everything.
I understand.
He's hyper aware, and they're nowhere. He didn't see two little kids running away. There was nothing like a bush they could have been hiding in. I don't know. Whatever. So he says, "What did I see? Maybe nothing more than some kids looking for a ride and wearing some really funky contacts." Yeah, right.
No, I don't think so.
So that's his encounter. So a couple of things about these children. They usually have a thread that ties them all together. Obviously, they've got the wall-to-wall black eyes.
Yeah, that's a
giveaway.
Important detail.
They always need your permission to come into your home or into your car. If you drive away or shut the door, they disappear.
Mm-hmm.
A few people said that they have encountered them walking out on the street, and if you just like turn around and walk away.
Yeah, try to take a different route. You know, if you like sense them, don't do it.
And if you kind of look over your shoulder, they'll be gone. They just dissipate.
They need you to give them that invitation.
Some kind of permission. They also really, really freak animals out. 9 times out of 10, a small kid is not going to freak your animals out.
Yeah.
But in a lot of these instances, the animals just go insane. And not even just barking at the door like, "Oh, stranger." They go insane around these kids. They usually always request something of you. Like, a lot of the times they don't just say, "Hey, I need to come in." End of story. They're like, I need money for the movies.
Yeah, or a glass of water.
Yeah, I need something. And a lot of people think that that's these entities kind of trying to prey on people's want to help out little kids.
Yeah.
You know, they speak in a mechanical tone, but still very melodic, very rhythmic. There's something very hypnotizing about their voice. When they speak, they have a rolling speak where they never quite quit to yada, 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 that kind of thing. Oftentimes they'll be looking down as to hide their giveaway feature that they have. They should work on that. That is a bit of a telltale sign.
Yeah.
They've been seen panhandling or hitchhiking on the side of the road. After you turn them down, they become angry or upset in some fashion. They'll become more demanding. You have to shut the door. They're not going to walk. Nothing you say is going to make them say, "Oh, okay," and they're going to turn around and walk off.
Very persistent.
They're going to be persistent, and their stories are never necessarily lining up with each other. They're just going to say whatever they can to get into your home. There have been accounts where they have been into people's homes.
Oh, those are the worst ones.
And they're very freaky. I have one for you right here. This was back in the 90s to the early aughts. A woman was at home with her husband when she had a knock on the door. She goes and opens it up, and there's 2 children standing there. And these are the younger ones, I think. These were about probably 8-year-old kids.
Okay.
They're standing at her front door, and they say, "Can we come in to use your phone? We have to call our parents." And she is unnerved. She has that unnerved feeling. But she's also kind of under the will. "Yeah, sure, come in, you know." She goes in with them, and she knows that she should not have let them in. And they're not reacting with any kind of urgency. They just kind of stroll into the house. They stroll into the house, and as soon as they enter the living room, her husband's nose just bursts into blood. Bleeding. And she says that the entire time that she's known him, dated him, married, he's never had a nosebleed. He's gushing blood. She's freaking out. She runs to get some kind of towel or something, and the lights shut off in the house. And then the kids, without having used the telephone, they just go, our parents are here now. And they turn around, and they walk out of the front door, and a black town car has pulled up in front of this woman's house, and 2 men are standing outside dressed in all black suits with black hats.
And the telltale old black car.
Little town car of some kind. And the kids walk up, get in the car with the men, and the men drive off. So, there are instances where people live to tell the tale.
Yeah.
I'm guessing if they do ever kill people, it's not something we hear about.
The main things that I hear is that if people let them in, almost interdimensional shit will happen.
Well, see, with this woman, she would talk about how since that incident, she has had killer migraines and more nosebleeds. She also said that her husband was diagnosed with skin cancer.
Cancer's a big one.
Yeah.
Cancer's a big one. And, like, that's another one that I've heard many times is that, you know, they'll let them in, and oftentimes people will faint, you know, or like the lights will dim and then they'll pass out and the kids will be in there, and then like 6 months later be diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah. When I got into the whole cancer thing, that kind of bummed me out. And I was like, I'm going to move on to other things because that was not good. So don't let them in. There's a theory, they're not necessarily murderous creatures. There's a theory that they are like the Fae. You know, they're mischievous. Their goal is to get a good fright out of you, and that maybe the cancer is the result of some kind of radiation they might carry.
Maybe
there's theories out there that they're aliens, and we'll get into that. But if you want to think of it that way, in a lot of theories about aliens, they can be very irradiated. So a lot of times you will feel that will paralysis. Involuntarily letting them in, there's a little bit of a mind control thing here. A lot of the times they're dressed very inappropriately for what season it is. It can be burning hot outside and they'll be in a hoodie and jeans. It can be raining and they'll be wearing, no shoes running around. Also, this woman whose husband had the nosebleed and then was eventually diagnosed with skin cancer, she said ever since their visit, their house began to deteriorate. And there was just nothing they could do to keep it up. It's just constant.
It's like the moment that you let them in, they attach a permanent energy suck.
It's like,
whatever, like, it's like when you let them in, they like install it, and then they can leave. But it's like they have to be entered in to do it, and then it just eats.
And that's what's interesting is with the cancer. That's a slow and a training process, and a lot of the times the house deteriorating can be viewed out as the same thing. So it's a slow burn that they're doing. I don't necessarily know they're doing it on purpose or trying to do it. Okay, so I want to get into some theories of what these guys could be.
I like a good theory.
Tying into yours a little bit, there's a theory that these are actually already known entities that are controlled by the Men in Black. Yeah. And if they escape or if they turn up, they have to kind of come collect these guys. And making them almost the children of the Men in Black. A weird little family.
It is. It's very, very dysfunctional.
A lot of people think that these guys are aliens. There's some pretty compelling thoughts here. The first thing is their appearance, that kind of grayish skin color and the all black eyes. When we think of that classic, what do they call them? The gray? Or
the grays.
The grays, yeah. There was an account of a woman who claimed to have been abducted. And she said when she was abducted, she was having this conversation with like the lead alien man who was taking care of her, whatever it is they do. And she said she saw some children that she was like, who are these kids? And he told her, those are the children of the future. So a theory is that they are not just aliens, but they are alien-human hybrids. And if you know anything about like abduction,
oh yeah,
a lot of the times there's impregnation
Yeah.
that can come with it.
And then a complete disappearance of the fetus, it's just like it never happened.
Yeah. And a lot of the times there's a memory wipe of
Yeah.
this, but there's a lot left over from that.
Yeah.
So people are saying that these children are coming to people's houses, they're trying to gain intel. Some people say that they're just children and they're doing what kids do. However, since they're not fully human, they might have a little bit of a sick and twisted way of having fun.
Yeah.
So they don't mean to be hurting these people. They just want to fucking scare them, you know? It's like Ding Dong Ditch or playing pranks on people like we would, but to them it just comes off as very like cold and not speaking quite correctly. Also, it's theorized that the reason that they have to ask your permission is it could be an alien's misunderstanding of human politeness, which I think is funny. The fact that they don't understand that they can come in without permission, but they just get frustrated that they're not getting the permission.
Man, I'm trying to be nice.
Can I come in your house? Okay, so the thing about the aliens leads into a really interesting bit of really, really old folklore.
I love it.
Call it that.
Okay.
So in Irish folklore, there are the fairies or the fae. You think fairy, you think like, oh, cute garden decorations.
Folk are fuckers.
Fae, you don't want to mess with them. I get really nervous talking about
I
it.
do too.
Because I'm like, I know, they're there, they can hear me.
They're going to try to get me to drink their shit and eat their food.
Get their milk. They love milk, apparently. Anyway, the fae would live on, or you could find them on these floating ships that one might see today and describe as a flying saucer.
I love it.
And obviously, in Irish folklore, the fae are muted toned of flesh characters whose eyes are wall-to-wall black. So there is a little bit of tie-in with thinking that these are mythical creatures. Maybe this is their way to assimilate into
modern culture.
There's a theory, and this one's kind of boring to me, so I'm going to gloss over it. There's a theory that they're ghosts, but more than that, demons.
Yeah.
Which demon is a very, I think, misunderstood term.
Yeah, it used to be like a good thing. A demon used to be almost, and this is just like I actually learned this in a book I'm going to cover next week.
Ooh.
I'll talk about it at the end of the episode. I'm so excited about it. It's very, very good. But anyway, it goes into the history of that. And like Greeks, would call just like positive spirits or even just like your like guides or anything. They were demons.
Oh, a demon.
Yeah, and angels kind of were. They were just like good things, and then it changed. But originally, demon was not really a bad term.
A lot of the symptoms associated with UFO sightings are associated with the black-eyed children sightings.
Okay.
They call it moonburn. A lot of the times these people will have skin afflictions.
Like radiation burn.
Sometimes like wasting will happen after, The last one that I want to talk about is the theory that they are vampires, which I kind of like just because I like the vampires. The hell of it.
Yeah.
Because, and that's what a lot of people say that I've read online is, it's like, yeah, sure, fuck it, they're vampires too. Why not? And the connection there is drawn mostly from needing to be let in, the permission. I like a couple of these theories. I like the theories that they're demons.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in like a Catholicism style demon. It's something from hell. But the fact that it could be something from another dimension. I was talking to my husband about
That's
this.
one of my favorite theories.
I like that. I was talking to Clark about that. My husband Clark on the way up, giving a little bit of a rundown as to what people think they are, and I said I like the idea that they're interdimensional. We're trying to classify them and we're trying to put them in these boxes of it's an alien, it's a vampire, it's something we understand. However, I think it's something that we don't understand, and I think it's something not from here. And my husband Clark says, yeah, it sounds like it sounds like it could be something from like the fourth dimension.
I love it.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then we had a whole conversation about dimensions and
I love
everything else.
Dimensional, like interdimensional type theories and things like that. I love them.
We were really, really going off on it. But that was his theory as well, coming from somebody who's an extreme skeptic. He's like, if I had to pick, I would pick the option that they're just from another place. They're passing through.
Well, and the fact that they can alter our reality so much. You know, there's stories of people come out of it, and I've heard two, and they'll, you know, say they'll faint or something will happen, or they'll just wake up one day and the life that they knew is gone.
That's right.
And I heard another one. This was it was on Mysterious Universe, and a man, you know, I believe his wife let them in, and then when he woke up, he's now a monk, and like he said he misses his wife. She's gone. They took her.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's
just something has completely changed.
Something's gone. Yeah. And, you know, I've heard another one to where, you know, just the life that you currently know, you'll just wake up one day and that reality did not exist. And that scares me.
And that's what I think they're looking for.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. What could they possibly gain from changing someone's life around?
I don't know.
But I also am greatly comforted by the fact that you can shut the door.
Yeah.
If you can get over the will paralysis. If you can get over,
them fucking with your brain. So, I have an interesting ad.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, I listen to Mysterious Universe all the time, and
But Macy, do you listen to Mysterious Universe?
You know, they did an episode not too long ago talking about some adult black-eyed kids. So, but these are strange. They were, you know, just as they are usually. They don't really know how to conduct themselves in public. Almost sometimes it's comical. Like there was like a barbecue that was going on, and they try to blend in, so they went. You know, and we're just like really weirded out and confused by the grill, like. You know, like, they're just not all normal.
Right.
Yeah. And, but these were stories of people who were, like, their neighbors. And they would kind of get to know them, you know, and sometimes they would hang out with them for a few weeks. And, you know, they'd be like, yeah, they're kind of odd. Like, one woman said, like, this woman would come over, and half the time she was there, she would just be, like, walking around studying the items in her home. You know?
I think they're gaining intelligence.
Their eyes were normal.
Huh.
See, this is what's really important until they get mad. And, but anyway, like, they would, I don't remember why, and, different reasons. Like, over the silliest things, they would get mad. Like, there was one to where it was a husband and wife were hanging out with this other husband and wife, and sometimes it's a couple. It's two of them. And, he said something happened, and he was just like, for a split second, the screen that was being fed to his brain ended, and he saw their eyes. He said, like, the lighting was different. Everything, it was something like that. It was really weird. And
like, they're changing your perception.
Yeah, it's like a screen memory, like an abduction theory. And so, and then he snapped out of it, and that fear was there. And he said and if I'm getting this right, and I'm totally paraphrasing a Mysterious Universe episode, so I want to make that very clear. But, he had got his wife, and they got the fuck out of there. And the next morning, they were gone. Moved out. Everything was gone. And that happens almost every time. But there's some strange things that they would do. Like, people would see them in the grocery store, and they would have, like, a buggy full of, like, beans, potted meat, tuna, Vienna sausages. Weird. Like, canned meat.
Yeah.
And that's it. Or like, they'll just buy weird shit because they don't have to eat, and you know they
just think this is human food.
Yeah, and they're always robotic. They're always really empty, but they would be able to kind of control it until, you know, that they got mad or something like that. Yeah,
yeah. I'm wondering if these are not the grown up black-eyed kids.
I don't know. It's weird,
and maybe they've learned to hide or to control their abilities better. I really like the theory that they're here to learn about us.
That's what it seems. They're always studying like things and fascinated, along with the Men in Black.
Yeah.
They do the same shit. They'll see little just normal mundane objects and be very fixated and fascinated with them.
I had always thought that the Men in Black were like in the movie, like in the fun movie we all love. I thought it was a normal guy turned agent.
Yeah.
Like human. And
I wish that's what it was.
Do you want to tell us what it really is?
I do. Okay, so this is one big promo for Mysterious Universe, but they do really, really, you can get a lot of alternative theories there. And they have a writer named Nick Redfern, which is a great name. And he's written extensively on the men in black and the women in black. And what he thinks that they are. And he, because the mundane theories are, they're affiliated with UFOs.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, like strange happenings, Mothman prophecies.
Yes.
They have a big presence. That's kind of one of the first times that, they kind of were brought out to where people were really starting to hear about them.
Because the Mothman stuff happened in the 50s.
It's like 67 or something like that, around there.
And that's about the time, wasn't that about the time that people started talking about these men?
Yeah. And,
I could be wrong. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure that that's it. So here's the thing. I couldn't really write down a bunch of shit because my computer quit letting me, and then I was too scared to write down all of the final information because they told me to quit searching for them. So, I'm going like...
In not so many words, they told you to fucking stop.
Yeah, so this is going to be a timeline more instead of an actual dated and, heavily researched thing. Sorry about it. So, yeah, that's kind of when things came onto the scene. They're always dressed in black suits, usually very loose-fitting. They're very thin a lot of the time. They're very corpsey. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later.
Oh, no.
And they usually wear a hat, some black gloves sometimes, shades, and, have very...
They're just trying to hide.
Yeah, and they have that very gross skin. That same gross... But, oftentimes it's described as, a mask, plastic.
Yeah.
Which is so scary.
Yeah.
And it's just, something towards, they look normal, but at the same time, nothing about them could ever be normal. But you can't quite figure it out, but
it's
at the same...
uncanny valley.
Yeah,
almost.
It's something's wrong. And it's just... It's like they're recreations.
Ew.
Yeah. And, oftentimes, like I said, they get really fascinated by mundane objects, and some of these are kind of funny to me.
I can see staring at a book.
Which this one's kind of spooky, and I'm paraphrasing this, but this was in Mothman prophecy era, and it was in the town, and so there was this woman who, and I'm gonna be very honest, I don't remember what exactly she had to do with all of it, but she worked in an office that had information on locations as to where he appeared or whatever. This gentleman walks in, and she hates him instantly. Something's wrong, and he was real, he had the way they look, and he just didn't act normal very well. And he kept telling her, I need you to, take me to the location, or I need information on where it was. And she was like, that's nothing I can disclose. He's like, no, I need you to take me there now. She's like, no, I'm working. I'm at work. I can't do that.
Leave.
And he got very, I need you to, we need to go, and she was really unnerved. And if I recall correctly, he had a really creepy, high-pitched voice. And something was wrong with his voice. And he wound up leaving, but he took her pen, and he was really looking at her pen, and he wound up taking it. And there's one to where 3 of them show up at a door, and a man answered, and there's one talking and 2 in the background, and they all looked scary like they do. And one of them, some of them are funny. One of them pulls out a cigarette and puts it in its mouth backwards, and tries to light it, and she gets mad, and it tries to light it a few times, and then just quits, just gives up.
That sounds funny, but if you saw that, you'd be
scary.
There's something not right.
And and for some reason, this really creeped me out. This one really got to me. So the same trio, after they leave, one of them, very robotic smoothly, like, sees a can on the ground, and he just, like, slowly bends and picks it up and puts it on a ledge and walks off. And something about that really creeped me out. Because they don't give a fuck about us.
Right.
But something about that is like, ew. I don't know what it is. But there's some interesting theories about the Men in Black. So, of course, you know, Nick Redfern, he's gathered the research that more suggests that these might not be human at all.
Right.
And they might
I believe that.
They might not even be self-aware. They might be machines.
Oh.
Like, they might be, if not machines, just like these, you know.
Worker ants.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So that's kind of a thought, maybe, because just the way that they conduct themselves, similar to the Black-Eyed Kids, they don't really know how to dress. Usually they're in black, but particularly, like, the women in black, sometimes they'll dress really in, like, a garish fashion.
Really?
Yeah, and, like, it'll be likely a black dress,
yeah.
but they're still very sickly thin. And they like to wear black, like, lopped-off wigs, which really freaks me out. Almost like Sia wigs, but black.
Oh.
Like, and ill-fitting. Like,
oh.
Yeah, and they're gone, and, like, sometimes, like, a very garish lipstick or something. Just very scary. The women in black are very scary. They are typically more, they do a lot more mind control shit.
Okay.
Like, there's a very, very scary report of a man who, like, saw this woman, and she just kept plaguing him for years. And one night she was in his bedroom, and she was in this evening dress, and he said she was just this thin, gaunt figure, and she had, like, the black wig, and she just maliciously looked at him, like, grinning, walked up and looked at him, and then just, like, not in a hurry, just walked out of the bedroom, out the front door. You know, took her time, just kind of probably moseyed around the house, and he was, like, sleep paralysis. He couldn't move, and he could hear her walking around.
That's the worst. Ew.
It's so
just
scary.
strolling around
and
your
so
house.
the women in black, the stories I hear about them, they're just evil. And, I mean, they'll do that smiling shit, and they'll be a bit more tormenting, when usually the men in, there's some stories of the Men in Black who are very malicious and smart sounding, you know, almost maybe like there's ranks.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe just levels of, you know, how good, and like their purposes. There's a theory out there that they're almost time police.
Oh.
They're like these interdimensional machines that are set up to keep things in line. And there's another theory, this one I like, even though it's scary to think about, is that if we are a simulation, they are the code written in to keep us straight. So that's why they show up on, you know, for instance, things like messing with the occult, or things messing with, you know, learning a bit more about how the universe works. And maybe the universe is not the universe, it's the big secret that we don't need to know. We don't need to become self-aware.
Yeah.
So they're basically the things preventing us from becoming self-aware.
Like the black-eyed children.
Yeah.
Which I guess you could view as a virus.
Yeah.
Shows up, they come in to clean it up.
Yeah. So that leads me to another theory. And this
Is this the corpsey thing we were
Yeah.
doing?
So there's a theory that while they might not necessarily be aliens, they are used to gather intel, but aliens use reanimated corpses.
Oh, no.
And that's why they look the way they do, and that's why they aren't quite right. Because maybe they haven't figured out how to reanimate a person in the right way. So that's why they're so... And maybe that's why some are self-aware more than others. Maybe some take better, you know,
they're
some
fresher.
revive... Yeah. And you have just like the Igors, you know, running around.
Abby normal.
Yeah, and so that one really... I like a lot. I think that's very interesting. And so, yeah, the aliens have basically Frankensteined them, and they're running around. There's another important thing. There's old, like, 50s black Cadillacs. And this is something that I want to touch on. And I kind of like that because it fits into the whole self-aware theory that, you know, they show up because this might be like a simulation or whatever. So if you notice, all of this started happening in the late 50s and 60s when some of the UFO action really started to pick up and people... That's when the Men in Black kind of come into existence.
Right.
Well, so maybe... And honestly, I'm not going to lie, this is kind of my theory. Like, I was thinking about this today. Like, a lot of, like... like, the simulate, it's more like interdimensional stuff, but, like, the rest of this was just my own ponderings. So, just strap in. I think Roswell was in the 50s, right?
40s?
Yeah, like, around then.
Yeah.
Well, and so the thing is that these men in black are often seen in, like, 60s, 50s suits. Mm-hmm. And they drive these 50s, 60s black Cadillacs. And so I was thinking today, maybe when they were written into existence, the code that they are that powers them, it needed to be done in that time, and that was what we were like used. That was our modern time, and maybe they're still doing their job, and their code just hasn't been updated yet. And like I was thinking about that today, and I was just like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
like maybe there's no need to fix them yet, and they're close to it. It's like Windows XP; it'll still work.
If it's still working, I don't want to spend the time to update it.
Yeah, and so it's like maybe that's why they're so fucked up, and like they don't know how to talk right, and like it's because they have just a database of old jargon,
Maybe he put his cigarette in backwards because cigarettes in that time didn't have filters.
Maybe,
yet.
and there wasn't any side that mattered. So I thought that one was really, really interesting. Yeah, so there's also a few reports of they'll use coins. Yeah, like there's a coin they'll make you like give you an ultimatum with it, or kind of use it to get your attention, which I thought was really strange. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of things here at stake, as to what these things might be. And really who they are. But the thing is that they don't have any boundaries. And that's what makes them so scary to me, is they're not like the black-eyed kids. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they could stroll in this room right now.
Yeah, and so that, they just really, and I knew a little bit, before, when I started listening to Mysterious Universe was when I learned about the description of them, and that it really unnerves me severely.
Yeah, that kind of skin that's almost too tight.
Yeah, like they just look like
waxy.
Yeah, like how people look when they're wearing like a good studio mask, but you still know it's not right. And so a really interesting story. I think it was in Japan. This was an article by, I think his name is Brent Swatson. He's also on mu.com. And it was a Japanese man, and he was going home late at night, and he was on a subway. And he said this man, an all-black older man, it was an empty subway, sat directly across from him. And he said he already didn't like it, and like he said the guy was very twitchy, fidgety.
Ew.
Yeah, just really straight. And he said he could see it out of his periphery, and he didn't really want to look at him, and he was but he felt him watching him.
Probably a good plan.
He was really looking at him, and he could feel it, how you can always feel when people are looking at you.
You got eyes on you.
And he said he kind of like glanced up, and he noticed that he was sweating profusely, and he said like in the lines of like the creases of his wrinkles was like metal. Yeah, or like a different color. Like if he was wearing makeup to look normal, but underneath was like this pale, and it was and where like where his sweat would run. It would just like if you cry wearing makeup, you have like the two white streaks.
Yeah,
it looked like that.
Ew.
And so he said at that time, the subway was pulling to a stop. He said he got up and ran out. And he said the man looked up in surprise. But yeah.
Just sorry, dude. Did I fucking scare you?
Yeah. So that one really was like, ew, I don't like that.
That's the worst.
Yeah. So there's a lot of speculation as to what they might be. I personally like the theory that they're time police. They keep things running smooth, almost like they, just like the Vogons. They're like the administrative people, almost, just making sure that people aren't learning too much.
Yeah. Sweeping shit under the rug when they need to.
Yeah. Nick Redfern does not believe that they are like a clandestine agency.
Right. Like in the Happy movie.
And I agree with him. I don't think they're human. I don't think they're human at all. I think they might be corpses because that theory is just wild enough to make sense.
I don't like it, but it works.
Yeah, and they're just gross. And another detail, I forgot to add this, and this one's really spooky. So they do usually wear shades.
Oh, sorry. When you we're talking about the corpses, my eyes just started watering.
I hate that. Well, so this is creepy, too. So they wear shades a lot. Like, they usually do. But they have really big eyes. And you can see them a little bit above and below the shades. So, like, they're almost bulbous. Like, something's wrong with their eyes. Yeah. And that's a giveaway for a lot of people, is that, like, they can see that, like, behind the shades, they can still see a little bit of eye. Because they're, like, bigger than our eyes. Something's weird about it. Yeah, and that one's really gross. Like, they're just kind of bug-eyed.
Like, if they took off their shades, we would be alarmed.
Yeah. Which, so some things about him are kind of funny, you know, because it's just like, what are you doing? But other times, no. And, you know, a lot of it...
It's those higher-ranking smart ones that are...
They are very spooky.
You gotta look out for.
And, yeah, they're very scary. There was a story of a woman. She was staying in a very remote, like, island. New England, maybe Canada. Mm-hmm. Might have been Alaska. It's like a big frontier type, you know. And she was pretty much alone. These two, and there were UFOs, and she would watch them almost every night. She said for some reason there's a lot of activity, and she liked it, you know. And she would just watch them at night all the time. And she said one day these two creepy fucking guys came in. And we're like, oh, we're from the electric company, or like the water company, or something like that.
Because usually the guys in suits are...
Yeah. And, you know, they really couldn't answer as to why they were there, and, like, they were very unnerving and very scary. And, like, they knew that she knew about the UFOs. Yeah. You know, and she knew that they knew.
She knew that they knew that she knew.
Yeah, and so it was very uncomfortable. And, like, if I recall correctly, they were like, you should really just, you should get off this island, you know, like, or, you know, they were really kind of, like, but these were decent communicators. Yeah. You know, they were still off.
Which to me means that, these UFOs you were seeing was, high-level shit.
It seems like it, because they sent some good ones, you know, some better ones. And while she was really unnerved, you know, they eventually left. A few weeks later, two dudes pull up from the water company or the electric company, and this is so remote, they come like once a year to check everything.
So okay, so these are real guys.
These are the real guys. And so they pulled up, and they were really kind, and she was like, hi, what are y'all doing? Y'all were just here. And they're like, no, we weren't. And she was like, yeah, we were there. Like, ma'am, I promise, this is like our last stop of the year. Yeah. We haven't come here.
We also don't wear full fucking suits.
Yeah, you know, and so they just know where to find you. And I guess that's what I'm getting at, is like, she was in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. In the woods, minding her own fucking business.
Not telling nobody about what she saw.
But they knew. And that's what makes them so spooky. Yeah. You know, and I think...
It's almost like they're already... They pick up on our thoughts or something.
Yeah. And there's been kind of that mind control element. Like I said, the WIBs, the women in black, they play a little bit with mind control.
I am so fascinated with the women in black thing. I've never heard that.
Really? Yeah.
And I want to dive in so deep.
It's creepy. There something about them is spookier. I think it's because of the wigs really creep me out. Yeah. And like, men are often bald.
I was gonna say, usually, if the guys, they're usually wearing like the hats.
Yeah, they'll wear fedoras a lot, or like bowler hats. But the women wear like these shitty, like the garish is the only word I can think of.
Like a Halloween, like a Party
just
City
harsh.
Wig.
You know, you're just like, oh, what? And that's really scary to me. Something about that's just, I don't like that at all. And they're just malicious. You know, I picture them with like a bit more of a grimace, you know. Yeah.
There's more intent there.
Yeah, and not a good one. Yeah. It's a very just bad thing. So, yeah, that's the Men in Black, and I know that was a scatterbrain thing, but I wasn't going to push it. I was going to, you know, let you know what they let me know, I guess.
They told you when to stop.
Pretty much. But I do want to say that they are worldwide. This is not just a USA thing. There have been reports of this activity all over the world.
And if you're hearing this, there's one right behind you.
Yeah, listening. So yeah, that's the MIB.
Man, I can't get over that corpse thing. That really bothered me.
Isn't that spooky? I know, it really creeped me out too.
Anytime a corpse is
reanimated.
moving again for whatever, if it's a zombie or whatever. Something that we as humans know is not right.
Yeah. I'm happy to have gotten this out. That's the Men in Black. I encourage everyone, if nothing else, I mean, it is spooky, but it's very interesting.
It was very informative.
Read a little bit about him. And those are some of the more rabbit hole theories, you know, and I'll go ahead and say that. But I think there's some sense to them, you know.
I will never watch the movie again the same.
Oh, I know. They make it so innocent. Like,
yeah, it's a cute little alien police.
Yeah, that's how they want us to think.
We took a dinner break.
Yeah. We're good and cozy now for these good spooky stories. We're settling in with some Irish coffees.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we're getting in the mood.
Our first story comes to us from Facebook, from Sita.
So when I was little, like 3rd grade, my fraternal grandparents had a basement that had a door going outside. Their house was built into the side of a large hill. It was a furnished basement with a playroom, laundry room, and sewing room. There was, at the time, a wood-burning Dutch stove, super neat and old school, that heated the house. This sounds great.
Yeah.
They're in northwest Arkansas, by the way, and we get a ton of tornadoes in the spring. That's very true. My twin and I would play on the stairs, but never down in the basement because of the shadow people. There was always this shadow man that would leer at you from the door that led you to the backyard. You'd feel him watch you, and if you looked over, you would see him staring at you. His eyes would either be transparent, which was scarier than red eyes. I remember smelling and watching him smoke a cigarette. It looked like the shadow of a cigarette, but you could see the red of the cherry and the smoke come off of it into the room. Ugh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. There is a shadow... Oh, my eyes are watering. I don't like that. You know what? I'm going to start sniffling. I hate this. Okay. There is a shadow lady that would walk around the sewing room and move objects in there. Mm. We got in trouble once because she reorganized the material my gran had set out, and gran thought it was us playing in the room. We would hear talking going on in the basement, and when we would go to see who was down there, no one was around. During the ice storm of 2002, we lost electricity. Well, I had to go down into the basement to get another oil lamp, and the lights were on. I shot back up the stairs to grab my nan to go with me. We went down, and she yelled for my grandfather because the light bulb was on, the switch was off, and the shadow man was standing near the switch, smiling. She said there was no man, and no one could figure out why the light bulb was on. So I guess she couldn't see them.
See it.
Ew, I don't like that at all.
Ew.
Before my parents split up, like 2nd grade, we lived in the same... We lived in the same... God damn.
They lived in the same what?
We lived in the same country town as my grandparents, about a 1/4 mile down the road. Anyway, we lived in a 2-bedroom house where the front door dropped you in a hallway with a small bedroom on your right and a bathroom washer room to your left. You walk into the living room straight ahead, and to your right is the master bedroom. Keep forward, and there is the dining room kitchen. This is important. So my brother, my twin, and I shared the master bedroom. We had a power outage during a storm one night. The thunder woke us up, and the night light was off. We wander into the living room because the TV was on with the volume full blast. We hit the power button and no go. We unplug it and it's still on. There's a screen full of static and laughing coming out of the speakers. We ran and slammed the door. Okay, so
Jesus.
We're still going. We're not done. In that house, there was always... Oh, I don't like this. Oh, God, my eyes.
Oh, no.
I don't like this at all.
What do you see?
In that house, there was always, and this is really hard to describe, so bear with me, a smiling face in the glass and reflective surface. It had way too big for any normal face, from showing all white teeth that were slightly pointy on the tips. The eyes were smoky bright green, and the hair always drooped around his head like he was wet.
Ew.
Medium-sized forehead and a jagged chin. Anytime it stormed outside, you could hear him laughing. If someone fell off a table or a wall, you could hear... If something fell off a table or a wall, you'd hear him. One time, my brother and I were playing outside because it was lightly raining. We were in the closet and found some old, cool-looking oil lamp. Of course, we were like, genie time! I totally feel that. I get you, man. And we were goofing off. Well, the closet door, they were the folding type, closed, and you could hear him laughing. His face popped up on the lamp, and my brother chucked the lamp at the wall. We never touched the lamp after that.
Smart brother.
That face would follow us from that house to our grandparents' house to, after my parents' divorce, my mother's house. Wherever I lived before going out on my own, he was always there. I hate looking out covered windows at night because of him.
Okay.
Right out the gate, man.
That's some stick with you kind of shit.
That's some real shit, is what that is.
That's almost, not the Men in Black, but the Man in Black, our first spooky story.
Yeah.
Like, that's a attachment to you kind of thing.
Yeah, it seems like it's just following.
Oh, boy.
That's spooky.
All right. Our next story comes from Brittany Marie. My stepsister used to stay with me during my summer vacations. Every day I would get up at the crack of dawn and ride my bike until the sun went down, while my sister would hang out at the house, watch TV, and goof off on the computer. One day during my regular pit stops back at the house to get some water, my sister asked me to not leave. I told her in my bratty fashion, I can imagine like a young kid, like, no. She said, I wanted to ride my bike and not stay home.
You're not the boss of me.
Yeah, no, I'm going to ride my bike. She says, again, she insisted that I stay. She said that when I was out, she heard someone that sounded like our dad call her name, and she was frightened.
It's like skinwalker shit.
Yeah, it's like some, take on someone you know.
Gross.
She was frightened, but I told her that it was probably nothing, and with that, I left. And then she herself says here, yes, I know, probably not the most sensitive thing to do.
No, not at all, but I understand. When you're a kid,
yeah,
you don't care.
You know, I don't want to get back out and go play. Sometime after that, I was home alone after a school day, and I was on the computer, which I was told not to do when no one was home.
There you go.
She said she was playing solitaire. My girl.
I loved me some solitaire, man.
So she said she's just chilling out playing some solitaire when I heard my dad call my name. So thinking that he might have been locked out of the back gate and couldn't get in, I went through the house to let him in, but he wasn't there. Nobody was there. I figured I was hearing things and just went back to the computer and started playing the game again. I heard my name called again. I turned my head because I was sure I heard it this time. But again, nobody was there. I got wise to this weird situation, and during the third time of my name being called, I whipped my head around to see where it was coming from. And she said halfway through, it stopped.
That's worse. Ew, it's like you got caught.
Yeah, it's like... It's like not only is it saying her name, but it knows that she's turning to look.
Oh, God.
Britain just quits.
Ew.
She has more experiences. So this one is when she's 14 years old, and she and her mother are living in a 2-story townhouse in Sacramento, where most of these things took place, she says.
Okay.
Over the course of 4 to 5 years, we had a lot of things happen that were unexplainable. One afternoon, my stepdad and I were home alone together in the living room area. He was on the computer, and she said this is when dial-up was the main thing.
No.
And I was on the couch watching TV. We were just doing our own things, and we heard a loud thump, like banging sound. I turned and looked at him, and he turned and looked at me. That's when, as a kid, you're freaked out.
Yeah.
Is when the adult is also
when
like...
they're not
totally like, it's fine. Yeah, they're like, oh, shit. We both made a confused face, kind of shrugged, and then went back to our business. Then we heard the same sound again. We looked at each other, but let it go a second time because it stopped again.
Oh.
And I just figured it was nothing. This happened a third time, and finally I said to my dad, it sounds like it's coming from upstairs.
It's always from upstairs.
We should go check it out. She says, at this point, my dad looks scared.
I feel you.
And
I feel you, bud.
That's when I run out the house.
Yeah, that's when I don't go check
That's
it
when
out
I'm like,
upstairs.
no, you know
That's
what?
when I'm like, do you want to go get some ice cream?
Yeah, we need to run to the store.
Let's let this thing just get all its energy out and resolve
bang
itself.
around.
Yeah, and then we'll just deal with it later.
Come back, bring it some cookies for safety, posterity. Okay, so he agreed with me. Okay, I had to reread this next sentence. She says, he agreed with me that we should go check it out, but he told me that he wasn't going to go check it out, but that I should go.
What a champ.
And
Man, you can't blame him for being honest. I feel that shit.
She says, way to go, Dad.
If I were the parent in that situation, I'd be like, actually, one, I would say, no, we're not going to check it out. And two, if I did, be like, you know what, champ? Go on, slugger. You go look at it.
Why don't you go take a pee?
Take a dog. Take one of the dogs. You go sort it out.
So she tells him that she can go halfway up the stairs. And if she didn't see anything out of the ordinary, she would go the rest of the way together. He agreed to that, so she starts climbing halfway up the stairs.
Can we talk about what a, absolute badass she is?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would have, not even at 14, today at 30, I would jump out the window.
Ghosted, no pun intended.
So she says, I didn't notice anything strange, so her and her dad they go up there together. They searched the second floor bedrooms and didn't find anything weird until they reached her bedroom.
No.
My wooden 4-post bed had been moved. It only looked like it had been moved like a couple of inches, but the bed was not light, and you could clearly see the indent of where the bed had been resting for the past 3 years. And now it was like a couple of inches over.
What are you doing? What business you got moving ahead?
What are you moving ahead? She says, a little odd, yeah, but I figured maybe I had moved it and not realized it. No, you didn't. Another incident in the house is when I had been alone after school one day. So a lot of her being alone in the home.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst.
I was on the internet in the living room and heard the same sound that she had heard with her dad. That loud banging sound.
Nope, taking my bike out, riding until sundown. Fuck that noise.
Yeah. She says, now, me being the awesomely strong, independent, and sometimes stupid person that I am.
And modest.
Or badass. She said, I decided I wasn't going to take that thumping stuff from a ghost. Way to go.
Yeah, I would take it. I'd take it and fold.
I commend you. So I yelled back at the noise, telling whatever it was to stop and to leave my house. That didn't seem to settle well with the entity. Because of that, the noise continued and became louder and angrier.
Which that's actually really scary.
If
that's
that was fun. Yeah, because it's like, I heard you, and I'm saying no. Yeah, it's acknowledging you, exactly. Yeah. I was persistent in my efforts to tell it to leave until I became more and more uneasy and eventually frightened.
That's normal.
I decided that I needed to get out of the house because I was fearful for my safety. So I ran out of the front door, which was conveniently near the computer. Now, as I said earlier, we had dial-up, and it just so happened that the dial-up connection was connected to our phone line plugged into the other end of the house. I remember those.
That was so weird. Yeah, that's so weird to think about now.
So I would need to unplug the internet cord and then replug it to make any kind of phone calls or call for anybody's help. I chose to use someone else's. So she ran to her next door neighbor's house and just started banging on the door and asked to use their phone. No one was home, or at least nobody answered. And I wasn't going to give up, so I went to the other neighbor's house. I even ran across the street and knocked on a random person's door to use their phone, but nobody was answering. Having no luck, I decided to get all my courage together and go back into my house.
No!
When I got there, the front door was still wide open the way I had left it, and the noise was even louder than before.
Fuck.
I ran through my living room, past the stairs, through the dining room, where I reconnected the phone line and called my mom at work. I was so distraught that she had a family friend drive over and check on me. When my family friend got there, she called my mom to let her know that she was here and tried to explain what was going on. She advised my mom that she could hear the banging too.
Oh.
That's nice, though, that somebody could hear it.
Yeah, that she's not just being crazy.
She decided that she would go into the house and take a look. She went up to the stairs and reached this... What a bad bitch, man.
God, all these people braver than me.
I know. I'm just like, I would have been a puddle on the floor.
Yeah, I would have been at the public park just waiting until nightfall for someone
with
to
my
come
hands
home.
folded.
Yeah.
So she went up the stairs, and when she reached the second floor, the sounds stopped.
God.
She used to, and still to this day, just not as frequently, has nightmares about the house and the evil presence that inhabited it.
Fuck, yeah.
And then the scariest part in the whole story to me is oftentimes the presence would try to pass itself off as Jesus or someone good-natured, only to be discovered as the evil thing it was.
Ew.
That's creepy, man.
Ew.
I don't like entities that have
Sentience?
high... Yeah. I don't enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Alright, so this one is a story from our friend Krista Hoover. Friend of the show. We don't know her, but
yeah,
sweet lady. I'm terrified to hear about how she was tormented. Here we go!
No shit.
Let me start off by telling you a bit about myself.
Okay, good.
I'm a 26-year-old and live on the coast of Lake... Can we say where she lives? I guess, Lake Huron in Michigan, in a little town full of magic and mystery called Port Huron.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
That's very nice. I started my metaphysical journey 2 years ago when a store called The Weird and the Word opened up in our town, right down the street from where I worked. It sparked a fire in me. And she said, finally came to terms with that after years of fighting with it. Yes, I am in fact a witch.
Yeah, you are.
It was around this time that I searched for witchy podcasts on Spotify and came across yours, Witch Bitch Amateur Hour. Fuck to the yeah.
Woo!
I am all of those things. I immediately listened to every episode, found you on Instagram, and now I am hooked for life.
I am all about it.
So here is her story.
Okay, she said, after I graduated from high school in 2010, I enrolled for cosmetology school in my hometown. I got a job at a prominent restaurant called Vintage Tavern. It was the place to go in our quaint old downtown on the Michigan-Canadian border. The building has had many different lives prior to the current owner renovating it into a fancy restaurant. Now here I am, 18 years old, no serving experience whatsoever, walking into this building with this new job, not knowing what the fuck I was doing. It was a creepy building. I always felt like someone was watching me. I heard whistling in the hallways, and I could have sworn the basement door locked on me, and I felt cool breath behind me on the stairs. Ugh, gross. Ew, I don't like breath.
I don't like it on me.
Yeah, I don't want to feel your breath.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, it is. It's
something
close.
You wanted to know.
It's in your space. Ew, that's nasty. So, of course, being the new girl, it was my job. Gross. Of course, I hate this. I already hate it. So, of course, me being the new girl, it was my job to go to the basement where the wine cellar was, and all of the big parties were held to be set up in the cleanup crew. So many creepy things happened down there. I cried. A lot. I would see shadows fly by me, and banners would topple over. Well, one day, I was minding my own business, walking down the stairs to the basement, trying not to look off to the left where the dark abyss called out to me like a magnet. I couldn't help myself and looked into the darkness to where, my surprise, a full outline of a man was running towards me. All caps. I turned... Oh, God, I have 2 tears, coming down my face right now.
Just doing your thing, and someone is booking
And
it.
I imagine you can hear it. You can hear the footsteps. Oh, or if you can't. Ooh, that's worse. Oh, God, okay. I turned my little 18-year-old ass around, screamed a little, and ran like a bat out of hell back up the stairs.
As you should.
Years later, I was reading an article on the history of the building when, to my surprise, I discovered there had been a fire at the building in the early days. 2 men perished in the fire while they were working in the basement.
Oh.
My head spun, and I'm sure I shit my pants as everything started coming together. The man was running towards me because he was trying to escape the fire. This is something that haunts me to this day. I feel terrible that this was before my awakening because I would love to help release them from the fear they must feel. Oh, that's true. Yeah. It's just reliving it over and over again. I hope that someone since has discovered their mystery and has helped them pass on. That I am not sure.
These were really, really good.
I am all about it. So yeah, you guys, keep these coming.
Please do.
Send us more of these. Help us spook our pants off.
If you were spooked, even a little bit,
let us know.
Let us know.
I want to know if we give you a good old spooking.
Good old riling up. I don't know. If you want your story read on the next Wabah Spooky Hour, send it to us on Facebook at Witch Amateur Hour. Twitter is at Bitch Hour. Instagram at Witch Bitch Amateur Hour.
Should they just always email us their stories?
Yeah, you can. At wbahpodcast at gmail.com.
That's the one.
I think the mental image of something trying to pass itself off as a holy entity is going to stick with me for a while. Yeah. That and being ran at.
Yeah, fuck that noise. One, the face in the glass.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no,
I think my mind tried to block that one out.
My eyes are watering again. I don't like it. So you guys did us good.
So we know today is where a lot of people might have been expecting our Mabon episode to go. The Sabbath that's coming up here. We've made an executive decision that in order to kind of space those out a little bit, we're going to alternate them. We did Lamas, And then the next one we'll be doing is Samhain. And then after that, we'll be skipping Yule, and we'll save those for next year.
Yeah, we just don't want to knock them all out in the first year.
Yeah. Also, we don't want to bombard you guys with a Sabbath episode every couple of episodes.
Yeah,
so expect that one 2019.
Hey.
And what are you talking about next week?
I'm very excited about this. So we got another book.
Nice.
And this one's kooky. And it's called Whisperers. The Secret History of the Spirit World. The main topic of this book is that I'm trying to not go too deep into it because I want to so bad. It's so cool. Basically, that our world, the path of our history, everything we've done has been guided by spirits whispering in the ears of people in power.
Oh.
And there's a lot of evidence to support it.
Okay, I don't think you watch Doctor Who.
No, I haven't.
If anybody out there watches Doctor Who and they know of the silence, that's something. There's like this invisible force that's been guiding humanity.
Yeah, that's kind of how this is. And it talks about, it just has these really interesting theories. I was reading one this morning and I was like getting hyped. When you got a good theory going on that is kind of nutty, but at the same time it all checks out. You're just like, holy shit, it's gonna be great. So I got another like good conspiracy theory, but I mean very well researched, well written book.
And we won't even talk about the last book you were going to cover.
God damn it. You know what? We should talk about it. I'm going to talk about it right now. I'm going to do a short roast before retiring for the evening.
We're going to, if you guys were spooked out at all, we're going to bring that down with a little bit of good old-fashioned
frustration. This is just how I see it. First let me talk about the book. The book was a book on empathy. And, I think I do want to cover empathy. I think it's a fascinating topic, empaths and just understanding human emotions in general. But this one didn't prepare empaths at all. At all. If anything, it did more damage to me than good. Huh. So if you have empathic tendencies, you know that it's very easy for the world to be a drain. And not only a drain, but to mirror its emotions to you. And it's very easy to basically be just like glue and you just stick to all of this stuff. And it just, and this book was like so busy on just like painting empaths as these gentle, innocent, perfectly soft, helpless beings, instead of being like, look, there's some bad fucking people out there. Let me explain to you how to control this. Let me teach you how to like reel in your emotions. None of that. It was just like, oh, well, being an empath is a great challenge, but a great gift. And I'm not going to tell you why, but I'm just going to keep writing. And I like, oh my God.
Wasn't half of the book like some severe self-stroking?
Yes, it was just basically him just circle jerking himself. And like everything, and like, oh, this is what did it for me. And like, look, I have nothing against I consume a lot of organic stuff. I don't care. Like, that's fine. But it was just the cherry on top. And he was like telling this story. And he just, anytime he could like scratch his own back, he would, And it's just like, I'm trying to learn how to understand being an empath. And you're just so busy telling me how great you are. And I want to punch your fucking face. And I was so sick of it. And I was about halfway through at this point. And he was like, so my simple morning routine. And it's like 2 paragraphs of stuff I can't even pronounce. Of like, then I do this and I'll sit and go to this and do this for 2 hours and it was like all of these things that like weren't Tai Chi, but like shit like that, and it was just like forever. And then he was like, and then I'll polish it off with a cup of coffee. Organic, fair trade, of course. And I just shut the book and was like, I'm fucking done. I can't take this piece of shit anymore. Oh my God. So I was going to do, and I know this sounds so weak, but like, it's honestly been about 2 weeks since I stopped reading it and I've just blocked it out. But it was a waste of time. And I'm glad I'm doing another book that's actually good because, and I should have read the reviews and shit, like, and it was decently reviewed, but the ones that weren't like good were very like, this is a book about nothing. Like, he just talks about how great empaths are, but doesn't teach how to do anything about it, you know? And it was just a piece of shit book. So anyway.
It sounds like sometimes people will throw words around without really knowing their meaning. Yeah. It sounds like he just wanted to write a book about being an empath, but didn't fully understand it, so he was just like, my coffee is organic.
Yeah, it was terrible. And it was just like, there was no realism at all. And there was no understanding of the fact that it really is draining, and it can be hurtful, and it can really alter your state of mind. It's not
flowers and perfume and
it's
soft
just like,
beds.
You shouldn't have to, control. You should just let them, it's just like, no, you can't, because if you do that, people, and we've talked about this before, like with energy vampires, people know who pushovers are.
Yeah.
And if you're an empathic person and they know that you just can take and take and take because that's what you do, they're going to seek you out and they're going to use you for everything you've got. So if you're going to talk about empathy, write a book on how to control that and how to protect yourself.
Boundaries and following through with them.
And
not
it was just like,
no,
you're this beautiful, special, unique thing. And blah,
well,
it's
okay,
like,
true. But what the fuck do I do about the people who are trying to take from me?
That's exactly it. And like, they were just like, I don't know. And then he had like this meditation in there on like watching people. And he was like, go to the park and like bring a book, but like use that as cover and just stare at people for 30 minutes.
Creep City.
Yeah. And I was just like, this is an exercise in this book?
Creep City.
What the fuck?
Just go to people's houses and pretend to be their gardeners and watch
and
them.
He was just like, make sure to bring a book to blend in and not to creep people out. It's like, too late.
Because you're doing a creepy thing.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Well, I'm sorry. I brought it up and raised your BP.
That's okay. I meant to talk about this when it was fresh. We're finally figuring out Patreon.
We are finally doing it.
Y'all,
we posted our first video there today.
We're trying.
We're actually sending out our first gifts.
Yeah.
You know, that we have for certain tiers. And I guess by the time this airs, it might be there. So
hopefully.
Hello to our Patreons. We hope you enjoy our gift. For our Patreon shout out segment.
There you go.
I can't sing like Macy can. Thank you to Patreons like Charles Popcorn.
I like that name.
Thank you, Charles Popcorn.
That's a heck of a name.
Charles Popcorn. Popcorn. I want popcorn.
I have popcorn.
No shit.
I do. It's smart pop, but it's still
It's popcorn.
Popcorn.
Popcorn. Charles Popcorn.
As you guys know, and as we've talked about before, reviews are like so important. They're so important. They help us grow. They help people find us. Yeah. Everything like that.
And I want to say, I get so bored of hearing that shit.
Oh, I know. From
other podcasts, YouTube, whatever. But it's for real. It's real shit.
Yeah, it does make a big difference. And so we got a Facebook review, 5 stars, from Denise Bracken Carroll. And she said, I've binged listened to y'all for the past few weeks. Love your podcast. Aww. I'm a fellow Texan and Lord of the Rings nerd. Hey. I feel like I'm listening to long lost friends. Love the humor, the information, and the spooky stories. Perfect. Keep it up. Hell yeah. I love
hope you enjoyed our spooky stories today.
How serendipitous.
Yeah. Danielle Isaacs Beasley says, I've listened to every episode, thank you, and can't wait for the next one. As a lifetime pagan, but a baby witch.
Nice.
I love listening to you guys. Y'all's are great. Y'all's neighborhood. Y'all are great. Keep up the amazing show. We will.
I love it. That's so exciting.
Thank you guys.
I got all of my energies out.
Got your energy out? You got your spooky
I
out?
went from like a high and I'm at a low because I am like wore out from all of this.
I think we should go pop some popcorn and watch
Space Jam. I fucking knew that's what you were gonna say. Fuck yeah, we're gonna watch Space Jam.
All right.
Oh my god, yes.
And you guys at home, you should too. So
everybody can go for a good viewing of Space Jam.
And some popcorn.
It's good for the soul.
All right, guys. This has been
The Witch!
Bitch.
Amateur!
Spooky.
Oh, mixing it up.
Or as your nephew called it, the comedy hour.
Yeah, because you know why? We're hilarious.